She thought humiliating me in front of everyone would be her grand finale. A performance she could replay to her friends later, laughing about how easily I broke. But the thing about storms is they often clear the air. And when she stood there, basking in the attention, I realized I didn't need to raise my voice to destroy her moment. Silence can echo louder than screams. Emily and I had been together for nearly 4 years. We met at a friend's birthday in Boston. She spilled her drink. I handed her a napkin, and the way she smiled made time slow. For a while, we were the couple others envied. Weekend trips, matching playlists, whispered plans about buying a house near the coast. But somewhere between comfort and contempt, something shifted. It started small, late replies, canceled dinners. Her phone suddenly turned face down on the table. When I asked, she said work had become demanding. I believed her. I wanted to. Love makes you blind, but pride keeps you deaf. By spring, distance wasn't just emotional. She spent most nights at meetings, returning home with perfume that wasn't hers. Still, I stayed quiet. Sometimes silence isn't weakness. It's patience sharpening its blade. One Friday evening, she invited me to her best friend's engagement party. I almost said no, but some instinct told me to go. The restaurant was packed, laughter bouncing off the glass walls, music low enough to make whispers feel intimate. Emily looked stunning, radiant even, as if she'd already moved on from us. Halfway through dinner, she tapped her glass with a spoon. The chatter died down. Everyone turned toward her. "I have something to say," she began, glancing at me with a smile that wasn't kind. "Ryan and I have decided to end our relationship." A few surprised murmurs rippled through the crowd. My chest tightened, but I didn't flinch. She continued, voice trembling just enough to sound rehearsed. "Honestly, it's for the best. I need someone who understands ambition. Some people just settle." Laughter, not loud, but sharp enough to sting. Her friends covered their mouths, pretending shock while enjoying the spectacle. I stared at her, remembering every late night I stayed awake supporting her through her MBA exams, every rent I paid when she quit her job to find herself. But I didn't speak, not yet. The host awkwardly clinked his glass, trying to move on, but Emily wasn't done. "Anyway," she said brightly, "I'm sure he'll find someone who appreciates simplicity." This time, the laughter grew. It echoed off the marble and into my bones. I stood slowly, letting my chair slide back with a soft scrape. My calm made the room uneasy. She looked uncertain now, as if she'd expected tears or anger, not composure. "You're right," I said finally, voice steady. "You deserve someone ambitious. Someone who doesn't waste time on people who use love as a stepping stone." Her smile faltered. "And I continued, pulling my phone from my pocket, "deserve honesty. Like knowing the real reason those work meetings kept running late." A hush fell. Across the room, her phone buzzed on the table. The screen lit up with a name, Mark Office, followed by a preview message. "Can't wait to see you later. Same hotel." Eyes darted from her to me. She froze. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. Ambition looks a lot like convenience sometimes, doesn't it? Her lips parted, but no words came out. I placed my phone beside hers. "Don't worry, Emily. I'll make sure Mark knows the engagement party went great." The laughter died. The silence that followed was heavier than any shout could have been. Emily's face drained of color. For the first time in months, she looked small. Not the confident, polished woman who'd spent weeks rehearsing my downfall, but someone suddenly aware of how fragile her game really was. Her friends shifted uncomfortably, pretending to check their phones, unwilling to meet my eyes. I didn't stay long enough to watch her crumble. There's no satisfaction in gloating, only the quiet peace of knowing you didn't let them win twice. I picked up my jacket, nodded to the host, and walked out. The air outside was cool, steady, calm, the kind of air that feels like a clean slate. By the time I reached my car, my phone buzzed with messages. "Ryan, wait. Please let me explain. I didn't mean to humiliate you." But that was the problem. She didn't mean to humiliate me. She meant to control me. In the weeks that followed, I didn't block her. I didn't reply either. Silence became my form of punctuation. Every unread message a period. Every missed call an exclamation point. Friends told me she'd been asking around, that she regretted what happened. But regret isn't redemption. It's just guilt dressed up in nostalgia. 3 months later, I saw her again by accident or maybe fate's way of tying loose ends. I was at a coffee shop downtown, laptop open, finishing a proposal for my new firm. She walked in, same careful poise, same scent of expensive confidence. For a brief second, our eyes met. "Ryan," she said softly, approaching the table. "You look good." "Thanks," I replied, glancing at my screen. "How've you been?" She hesitated. "It's been complicated." I smiled faintly. "Yeah, it tends to be, when truth catches up." She sat down without asking, fingers tracing the edge of the table. I wanted to apologize. That night it got out of hand. I just wanted closure. "Closure doesn't need an audience," I said quietly. "Performance does." She flinched but nodded. "You're right." We sat in silence for a while. She looked around, maybe expecting someone to recognize her, maybe hoping I'd still be bitter enough to give her relevance. But the thing about healing is, once you truly let go, the person who broke you becomes just another story, not the headline anymore. "You seem different," she said finally. "I am," I replied. "You taught me something important." She tilted her head. "What's that?" "That dignity doesn't shout. It just walks away." Her eyes glistened, maybe with regret, maybe with pride bruised by grace. She stood up, forcing a smile. "I hope you're happy, Ryan." "I am," I said simply, and I meant it. When she left, I watched her reflection disappear in the cafe window, replaced by the city outside. People walking fast, lives overlapping, stories beginning and ending every second. For the first time, I didn't feel like a supporting character in someone else's narrative. I was finally writing my own. Later that evening, I met my business partner at the firm's small office. We just landed a major client, and as I reviewed the contract, I realized something. Sometimes the universe doesn't punish betrayal, it rewards endurance. Months ago, Emily's laughter had echoed through a crowded room, aimed straight at my pride. Tonight, my silence echoed back, far louder, carried by the sound of my own success. And in that moment, I understood something most people never do. Revenge isn't always about making them feel what you felt. Sometimes, it's about showing them they no longer have the power to make you feel anything at all. Because true peace isn't loud, or dramatic, or public. It's the quiet kind, the kind that follows after you walk away, look back once, and realize the only thing left behind is the version of you that needed their approval.